This is looking pretty good, if I may say so myself. Hey, it's Shumuriel. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we are doing a full face of makeup using drugstore products. Look at us go. I was about to wash my face off, and I was like, wait a minute. I didn't record an intro earlier today. So here we are, many hours later. It is 8:12 in the evening. I did my makeup look at 10:30. Yep, it was 10:30 because I had to leave my house at 11:30. So several hours later, this look has held up. So if you want to know the products that I use to get this face, it's easy, it's effortless, just, you know, beginner friendly, then keep watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And let's go ahead and go back in time to see how I got this look. Thank you. Alright, I've already washed and moisturized my face. So we are going to go in with the primer. This is the NYX, the Face Glue Gripping Primer. I've used this maybe once or twice. So we're just gonna give it another go today. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, primer helps prep your skin for makeup. So, you know, just like when you paint a house or whatever, you wouldn't just paint it. You know, you gotta go in and get the primer going. So yeah, the primer preps your skin for makeup. So primer helps prep your skin for makeup. And they're all different kinds. There's hydrating primer, matte primer, luminous primer, which gives you a little bit of a glow. It really just depends on your skin type and what kind of look you're going for. I myself am a matte skin girly, so yes, but again, haven't used this primer a lot, but I'm excited to see how it performs today. And I'm also over here trying to figure out, do I normally do concealer then foundation or foundation then concealer? And then also trying to figure out if that even matters, the order in which I put it on. I think I'm gonna do concealer. Yeah, we'll go in with concealer next. So I like to use concealer to hide my dark circles. You can also use it to cover up blemishes, just whatever you want to do. It can just kind of be like a, what's the word I'm looking for? A helper, if you will, to your foundation in terms of coverage. So that's what I use concealer for. Some people use it to brighten this area. It just, again, it all kind of depends. And then some folks use concealer as foundation. Here's the thing. There are no rules. You apply what you want to apply for the most part in the order in which you want to do it. But there's no like, oh, I did my concealer first, bad. You know, just do you. Some people use concealer to shape their brows, and they start their routine by doing that. I don't want to overwhelm you too much. I'm just letting you know that for the most part, there are no rules. So I'm just taking this little pointy brush from Sigma, and I am tapping the concealer in my under eye area. So you see how that's blending in. Oh, I didn't tell you what this is. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer in the shade 410 Almond. So we're just tapping and going, what side is this? This is going to the left, to the left, to the left. So you obviously just want to go in the opposite direction. So here I was going to the right, here I'm going to the left. I'm gonna be a little bit extra just for product's sake. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Corrector, and because I have hyperpigmentation, I'm gonna go in with just a little bit of this. and put this over my acne scars. This is obviously optional if you don't have this issue. And the reason why I'm using this instead of what I just did is because the L'Oreal concealer that I just showed you is a little bit brighter. And this is a little more skin tone. It's been a while since I used this, but we're gonna blend this out. Okay, so you see? Okay. You're starting to see the vision. Cool. Now, here we go with foundation. I am using the Toffee, it's the Maybelline Matte and Poreless. This is normal to dry or normal to oily skin finish. What else does it say? I'm in the shade 330 Toffee. Now, foundation can be tricky because there's summer shades, you know, when you tend to be a little darker if you outside like that. Winter shades when you tend to be, you might go down a shade. I, for the most part, remain consistent with my shades. So foundation can be a little bit tricky because you have undertones, you have summer shades, winter shades. But once you find what works for you in the season that you're in, you should be good. Just be sure, if you're not sure what shade you are, just keep your receipts. And I put some foundation on my hand and I'm tapping it here. So when you do, excuse me, when you do get your concealer, just keep in mind, or not keep in mind, but just check and see what your undertones are. I'll put some explainers here at the bottom. So you can be warm, you can be cool, or you can be neutral. Most makeup brands tend to label their foundations WC or N, warm, cool, or neutral. And so that can help you out once you determine what your undertones are. I believe that I am a warm undertone just based off my years of trial and error. I am not a professional makeup artist. I'm just someone who had to wear makeup professionally as a former TV news reporter. And so, contrary to what some TV shows may show you, we do not have makeup artists, or at least not in local news. So you had to learn as you went, and I just picked things up from other women who had been in the business and were putting me on to stuff. So that's how I learned. BTW, this is an e.l.f. This is a blush brush, but it's doing the job. So it just says e.l.f. Liquid Blush. So that's the brush we're using. So yeah, again, I've never been professionally shade matched. I just kind of go off vibes and the images of the models that most brands tend to provide online. Be sure to check those to see if you can find somebody who's similar to your shade. So remember all this work we just did? Now it's time to set it and lock it in place. And to do that, we are going to use loose powder. This is also by Maybelline. Maybelline is by far my favorite drugstore foundation. Is by far my favorite drugstore brand. That's what I was trying to. It creases a little bit over time, so you have to make this very attractive face here. And I'm basically going in and reblending. And then I'm gonna show you what I did in a second, but it's very complicated to do this and then talk about it. I'm trying to keep from looking down, but I'm not doing a great job. Okay, my bad. So here's what we did. Okay, we're gonna take this loose powder from Maybelline. This is the Fit Me in 30 Medium Deep. So I took it, turned it upside down, put some in the lid. Okay, then I took this little sponge. This is from e.l.f. You can get them from Amazon or wherever. I took the sponge, put it in the lid, I then tap the excess. I'm doing a combination of tapping the excess off and also patting it into the sponge and distributing it evenly. And then using that to set my under eye. And then I also like to take whatever's left and just set the rest of my foundation. So you see how right here it's a little shiny? Watch this. So I'm also going to do my lids because you see, can you see there's a crease there? So again, just more powder. I'm going to set my face even further while wiping away any loose powder that remains. So for that, we're going in with the Maybelline Fit Me. This is in 330 Toffee Caramel. And I'm just patting a fluffy brush in here. And we're sweeping and swirling. Sweeping and swirling. So this is sweeping away any of that loose powder while also setting anything else is left. You with me? Cool. This is looking pretty good, if I may say so myself. And now we want to make sure all that hard work is secured and locked in. So that's when you go in with a setting spray. And what this does is just melt all of those powders and just kind of melts everything and makes it blend so that it's a happy time on your face. Let me read my notes, make sure I got everything right. So it's the final boss. It blends the powder. It helps with makeup's longevity. Some of these say they're transfer proof. I don't know if this one does. And then, yeah. So you know how some people can have makeup on for 8 hours a day and their makeup still looks good? Setting spray plays a huge part in that. Just like with the primer that I showed you, I'm not very familiar with this, but today is the day. Wear a test. So keep your hand back. You don't want to be too close. Okay. I like how this sprays out. You kind of want to look like this and let it dry. I'll be back. All right, now that that's all done, I am going to do my brows. Some people do their brows first. I go back to my statement about no quote-unquote rules. It's not like someone's gonna come snatch your makeup brushes from you. But this is just how I prefer to do it. This is new to me. This is the Brow Stylist Defender by L'Oreal. This is in the shade Brunette. So one thing I've noticed as I've gotten older is my hair in this area is really starting to piss me off. So my brows are getting thin, as are my lashes, and that's upsetting me and my homegirl. And we're back. If you are new to makeup and you are unsure of what brushes to use, I think that e.l.f. makes really good brushes. Real Techniques makes really good brushes. NYX, or NYX as I've heard some people refer to it, good brushes, and Morphe. Those can be found CVS, Ulta, Walgreens, you know, those type of places. My first reaction is to tell you Ulta because all of those brands I just mentioned, one-stop shop. Right now, we are going in with the Juvia's Place, the Bronzed Rustic palette. And I'm going to keep this real simple. This is a NYX 16 brush. As you can see, it's relatively fluffy. It's so fluffy I could die. And, sorry, I just came from upstairs. We are going to take sweeping motions. I'm doing a combination of sweeping back and forth. This is the crease of your eye, and that's just when you close it. This little part that caves in right here, your crease. And you're going to take your brush, you're going to swirl, and go back and forth. Oh, BTW, I'm using this shade here. It's so crazy how addicted I was at one point to, what do you call this? Eyeshadow, and now give me a good transition shade and maybe a little shimmer and I'm good. So it's just funny 10 years ago how, yeah, this obsession was bad. Okay, now I'm just sweeping some excess foundation on my lid just to give me something. Blend and swirl. Okay. So that gives me a little bit of color. Just a little something. I'm not trying to do too much today. And then just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to take this shade. Take my ring finger. Oh, I got too much, I think. And we're just going to lightly tap this in the middle. So these shades are very pigmented, so you don't need to do too much, but just, oh, I did too much. Hold on. I'm just taking a totally separate finger with no product on it in an attempt to balance the scales. Okay, mascara. Mascara is one of those things I kind of have to have. I like the way it makes my eyes pop. And yes, I had to put the emphasis on the P. This mascara is by Maybelline. Surprise. So you see how my eyes they just pop a little more. So if there was one of those, you know, like what 5 or, you know, whatever number of makeup products must you have, or, you know, if you only could choose 3, 5, however many, mascara would definitely be one, because I need all the help looking awake that I can get. Ooh, you know what? I just realized I have something that I forgot that I have, but I want to try because it's new. This is the Maybelline Maybelline Super Fluff Brow Mousse. And if I'm understanding this product correctly, it just kind of locks your brows in place and just also helps to give a little bit more definition, if you will, to any remaining sparse areas. Yeah. And we are back to finish this look. I'm just going in with this gloss from Juvia's Place. It's called So Glazed. It's a pretty iridescent purple pinky situation. Oh, it's cute. Can you see the, I like that. I like that. Okay, cute. And that's all we're gonna do today, because I can't do the type of lips I would like to do because my skin is dry, mostly my lips, and putting anything mattifying or anything on my lips right now would be just diabolical. So this is the final look. full face of Drugstore makeup. I hope that it was easy enough to follow along with. If you've made it to the end, be sure to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. And leave me a blue heart if you've made it to the end. I'm just curious to see who's all here and paying attention. Also, if you need or want any kind of breakdown in brushes, like I can do another tutorial and just share what kind of brushes I'm using along the way that are Drugstore, I can do that as well. Okay, well that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. And until my, until my next video, I'll see you later. Bye.